everybody, and welcome to Chef Shelley's Kitchen. So today we have a real treat. I'm going to be making a chicken casserole dish. Not long ago we had a house party, and one of our guests, Betty, said she found out I had an online cooking show, and she said, can't you do some casseroles? You know, I go to a lot of events and I need to bring a casserole. So I thought, you know what, let's do a casserole. And the beautiful thing about this casserole is you can mix whatever you want in it. I think it's just kind of a great way of looking at, you know, your protein. You can add some noodles if you want, which I am in this case. You can mix up your vegetables. But again, I think that you can mix it and match it however you see fit, but this is kind of a basic. So I'm going to give you a couple of variations. What I've done is I've actually already grilled my chicken breast and cut it up. So this is about 2 cups of chicken. I'm going to take that and pour it into my casserole dish like so. What I've also done is I have now 2 cups of frozen mixed vegetables. Again, you can make this however you want. This has string beans, the carrots, the corn. There are so many different, whatever your favorite is, that's what you want to do. So this is 2 cups. So I'm going to mix the 2 cups. And you're going to be hearing me, 2 cups, 2 cups. Everything, quite frankly, is 2 cups. The other thing that I'm going to do, and this, you don't always see this in casserole dishes, but I kind of like it, is I like using also just a few egg noodles. Now, the nice thing about these egg noodles, and I'll show you the package that I bought them in, here's the healthy version, is that these are whole grain without the yolk. My cholesterol, just genetically, I have high cholesterol. My dad gave me a lot of things, and one of the things he gave me in his DNA, from his DNA, is high cholesterol. So I always have to be very conscious of my cholesterol. So I tend, if I can do things without yolks, or you've seen me in many cases, if I'm making a pastry dish, one of the cakes I baked, that you'll see I'll tend to use the egg whites and less on the yolk, because that's where the cholesterol is found. So I've pre-cooked just about 2 cups of those egg noodles. And I'm going to just pour that in as well. As you can see, it's really filling up here. The other thing I'm going to add is I found here Campbell's has a healthy version of their cream of chicken. This is actually 70 calories as opposed to the normal can, which has lots more sodium, and it's like 120 calories per can. So here's Heart Healthy, go that version. They also have a low sodium. I always try to look for things that are, again, the healthy version. So we're gonna go on, and let me use this here, and we're gonna pour this in here, like so. And basically I use 2 cans of this, and it just nicely brings everything together. So that's 1 can. I'm going to add 1 more can. And then I'm going to add my salt and pepper. This is where you need to decide how much you would like to use. I don't like using a lot of salt and pepper. This is also, I've got just about 1 cup of water, because you need to cut up some of the cream of chicken. Some pepper, gonna add some pepper. The other thing I did is I actually seasoned the chicken when I grilled it, so you can just grill it in the oven. You can grill it on your grill outdoors. But again, this goes to your liking, so you can add more or less. I just don't like using a lot. So I'm going to mix some of this up here. Clearly I need to add some more of my water. Okay. So I had just about 12 ounces, and I'm not trying to overload it with water, because if you remember, I have frozen vegetables. So that's going to generate water as well. But you at least want to have the amount of water that the can, at least 1 can. So those cans come in 12 ounces. So that's the amount of water that I have there. But I can also tell just by texture. That's the difference again, everybody, between cooking and following a recipe. So you can see I'm just kind of moving this around nicely. I'm going to add a little more pepper. Not really going to add too much more salt. Remember, the cream of chicken has salt already in it, so we're not trying to load it down with salt. But I am going to use the rest of my water, which was 12 ounces. As I said, the same amount as the can of 1 can of the soup. Okay? So after we mix this nicely, I'm going to give you 2 choices of what you can do to top this. This is what makes it nice, almost in a way like a chicken pot pie, but it's fantastic. When I made this the last time, I just used regular pie crust. So you can buy the pie crust in sheets, and you can just lay it on top. So you can go in your refrigerated section where your biscuits are, that type of thing, and you can actually get the pie crust, the flat pie crust that way. All right, this is looking totally delicious. That's like just the right amount for me. Again, I'm going to top this off with a little bit more pepper because we like pepper around this place. Now here's a little treat that I'm going to do, which is a little different. So you can use a pie crust, as I mentioned. You also can try phyllo dough. This is actually found in the frozen section. So different from the pie crust, the flat is refrigerated near biscuits. This tends to be found in the frozen section. They're considered phyllo pastry sheets. That's what they're called. If you went to the grocery store, you'd say, where are the pastry sheets? That's all you have to say, and they should be able to show you where they are. This actually, when I put it in the oven, it's not going to take that long because really I've cooked everything already. I mean, the vegetables is the only thing, and the idea here is that you want everything to just kind of come together, and we have to cook the baking part. So let's go to our phyllo sheets. What you're going to do, I actually have 5 phyllo sheets. It's thin like this, and you might be saying, Shelley, why are you using phyllo sheets? I like using phyllo sheets because they're really flaky. So it's just a nice little different thing that you can do. And I've melted 2 tablespoons of butter. I'm just going to just pat it on top of it like so, just a little. This just helps with the crispiness, if you will, of the baking, the flakes, okay? And one by one, I'm going to put another one because the flakiness comes out in the layers, okay? And you're going to see I'm going to have extra flakes just because of my dish here. And that's okay. We're just going to tear that off, or you can fold it in, whatever you would prefer. And again, just kind of brushing this on each little sheet. Again, this is going to be so delicious. And the nice thing about the casserole dishes is that it allows, you can eat it for several days, you know. And I've put this in the kind that has a lid that goes with it. I'm actually going to use 5 sheets. Again, you can use how many ever you want, but you might want to start out, just if you try it for the first time, use 5 sheets. Again, it's to create that layer of crispiness. Okay, so we're going to do it like that. A little bit more. And you're actually going to find that you can use less of the butter as you start putting them on because it soaks through from the previous sheet. So you'll see it looks like I'm going faster. That's because I don't have to use as much butter. Okay, we've got now another sheet, another layer. Again, we're just brushing it on like this. I usually put my butter in the microwave for about 30 seconds, and that's plenty to melt it. Okay, last sheet. So this is the 5th sheet of our pastry sheets. And again, we're gonna just do it like so. I'm gonna actually fold it over. It may not look as pretty when I'm finished when it comes out the oven. But I don't want to miss out on these flaky sheets because it's going to be totally delicious. So I'm going to just kind of take the ends and kind of fold it in a little bit like that. Again, if you have a square container, it'll work obviously much better if you do it that way. So again, it doesn't look as pretty, but I tell you what, it's going to be tasting quite awesome. And I'm going to put the rest of the butter on the sheets that I folded down because they didn't have butter on them. Okay? You can make it prettier if you want to cut the edges, you can. I'm just, you know, I don't like to waste stuff, and it's still going to be good. Okay? So there we have it. I'm going to pause now. I'm actually going to put it in the oven without the lid on top of it. And we're going to cook this for about 25-30 minutes. I'm going to check on it, and really what my test is the flakiness of the bread. That's what's going to tell me. If I know 20-25 minutes, that's enough to cook vegetables, right? Frozen vegetables, way enough time. We're really going to be looking for the crust. So we'll come right back after we put it in the oven and see how it looks. All right? Stay tuned. Okay, we have left the casserole in the oven. For me, it was about 35 minutes. Again, I'm going to show you kind of how you want the crust to look. If everything else is cooked, you're not really cooking anything. It's really letting everything come together and then making sure the crust is as it is. So I'm going to hold it up. It's still very hot. I literally just took it out of the oven. And so you can kind of see this absolutely beautiful, beautiful, beautiful dish. And you can see, hopefully, kind of the flakiness of the crust. And that's what you're after. So I'm going to go on and scoop some out so we can take a little taste. But this is how it looks. You can put your beautiful lid on top of it, carry it to your party or wherever. I like making this because it does allow me and my husband to eat on it over the course of a week. You can add a salad to it if you want, but you already have your vegetables, you have a carb, you have your protein. So, all right, so we're gonna go on and dip inside. And as I said, it's really kind of more like a pot pie in a way. But did you hear that crust? Sounds delicious. It looks delicious. You just put a little bit right here. Put this down so we can take a little taste. You can just kind of see the prettiness of it, all the vegetables and the colors and the flaky crust. Just I love, I love, love. So I'm going to have to get some of this crust in my bite, okay? So, so delicious. Here again, nice little treat. The flakiness of the bread adds an extra little treat. I'm going to take one more. It's so good. Delicious. There you have it. Got your casserole dish. Again, as I said, you can use pie crust to make the top if you prefer that type of topping. I like the phyllo pastry because it is thin and it adds another dimension to it. So enjoy. I hope you are able to use this recipe, serve your family, serve your friends. Remember, as always, share, share, share. Till we see you again. Bye-bye.